The City of Cape Town's Water and Sanitation Directorate is investigating the impact caused by the recent power outages to more than 30 sewage pump stations. Now, sewage overflows also resulted in temporary closures of the Bakoven sewage pump station. For more on this now, let's bring in the City of Cape Town's MMC for Water and Sanitation, Zahid Badroodien, who joins us now via our video link. And Zahid, it's great to have you on the program. Thanks very much indeed for making time. Let's begin first by just getting an update on that power outage. There had been an undertaking yesterday to have all power restored by 4:30 in the afternoon. Did you manage to do that?
So my colleagues in electricity most certainly did their best. Officials in the electricity department did their best to ensure that energy was restored by 4:30. There were, from reports given to me through colleagues, some trippages here and there, but that's as a result of the energy being returned. But simple fixes with the officials returning them and putting that electricity back on in those very localized areas. Obviously, there has been an impact, as you've noted, on the pump stations. This is for both our water and sewage pump stations. Very much in the background, whilst the colleagues at the electricity were repairing the cabling for the electricity to be returned. On the one hand, in terms of the electricity, we were able to avoid any critical water outages to two major reservoirs, being the Malteno and Oranje reservoirs, in terms of water being pumped to these particular areas. Thankfully, the electricity on that side came back on time and water started to pump, and we avoided a crisis in that instance, but we would have been ready with generators. In terms of the sewage pump stations, we have over 30 pump stations, or just about 30 pump stations, sewage pump stations in a particular area. Thankfully, again, a number of these strategic pump stations do have generators, so we were able to avoid unfortunate overflows, but here and there we were able to unfortunately not stop this from happening, but we are able to manage that through the course of the day by applying generators, and then today again with the necessary cleanups in those areas.
Should we be concerned about any long-term infrastructure damage because of some of these disruptions?
Absolutely not. I was on site yesterday with our teams at a number of these areas that we were most worried about, especially in the CBD area that services one of the hospitals, that services some of the residences along the Atlantic seaboard. Our infrastructure is very much intact still. Our infrastructure is also going through the process of being upgraded and expanded at a number of strategic locations as part of the Mayor's priority to make sure that we're able to cope with the growing demand in our city. So I'm very comfortable to say that this morning, the vast majority of these pump stations, as a result of the electricity returning, as a result of us being able to apply the generators to those areas where it was possible to do so, would not experience mechanical difficulties going forward. But on top of that, also the benefit of being upgraded in the near future as part of our sewage reduction plan here in the city.
Yeah, nonetheless, there were various overflows that were reported at the height of this particular issue. I mean, help us place what that actually means, especially in a context where I think some of the stations had actually been cordoned off from the public.
So it's about 3 overflows, notable overflows. One in the middle of our CBD, Tibble Square. We have a pump station underground in that particular area. Some of the sewage did overflow into the parking lot. Thankfully, no people were accessing the parking lot at that time. CBD is a bit quiet at the moment, especially in the business areas, as a number of people have gone on leave. So that is a very enclosed incident, and the team is currently on site cleaning up that location. We did also have some concern around pump stations affecting the Atlantic seaboard specifically. But in these instances, we were able to bring in generators. In one instance, we weren't able to catch the overflow in time because of the location of the pump station, which is right on the beachfront specifically. And in this instance, our environmental health colleagues, our officials from water and sanitation were able to respond by placing the necessary signage, encouraging or rather discouraging residents from accessing the water at that stage. But I'm also confident to say that when I visited the location late yesterday afternoon, the pump station was again working and being then pumped to the appropriate neighboring pump station, and in so doing the overflow was resolved. At Clifton 4, yes, there was an overflow onto the beach. This was contained very quickly. Our officials were on site were able to place a well or makeshift well in that particular area to enclose the overflow. So very minor impact on Clifton 4. And when I visited the beach yesterday, still very packed. When I assessed the overflow, very well contained, and we'll be there today again to do the necessary cleanup and also to ensure that we do the necessary water testing to make sure that it's safe for our visitors and our residents to continue to enjoy.
Zahid Badroodien is the MMC in the city of Cape Town for water and sanitation. Once again, Zahid, thanks very much indeed for your time.